Welcome aboard, folks. I'm Stephen Malkowicz, your captain on this adventure called Ship of Fools. It's a fabulous mess, and you're invited. Okay. Nikki, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard the ship here. It's called Where Wit Meets Wisdom. You are a local comedian.
I am.
And welcome. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
And
excited to be here.
yeah. And I like I said, I'm always interested in talking to comedians because I believe I love to laugh, and stand up is, I've tried to get up and I've spoken publicly in my career. And I'm in the newspaper business, so I've had to get up and talk and not try and be funny. Sometimes I am funny, but nowhere near like a comedian, like getting up and taking shit and abuse from people and heckling and
right.
And anytime you add alcohol to the mixture, you got to have the stomach for it, and you got to really enjoy it. And I do think Vancouver is undersold as a I use the term, I don't want to say Mecca, but it is from an entertainment perspective. Mm-hmm. It's and from a aesthetic and geographical perspective, it's probably the best. It is the best place in Canada to be.
100%. Our comedy scene is so good. I do think it is very underrated because we don't have any clubs technically.
Yeah.
So I think we get overlooked, but I think some of the best comedians in Canada come out of Vancouver.
Yeah.
Just look at the Junos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is that we always tend to, with our, just like any Canadian entertainer, they're always looking south.
Totally.
If you don't make it there, you're a nobody. And even with our music and it's ridiculous because we have funny people here.
Totally.
And just because our American neighbors don't find us funny, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
We find it funny.
Well, I don't even know if it's that they don't find us funny. It's just that the infrastructure here doesn't really allow for people to do comedy at a full-time pace. Mm-hmm. The arts just aren't valued in the same way, or there's not the same sort of like nightlife industry that's supported like there is in the States. So people are sort of forced to go there to be a full-time comedian.
Yeah.
But I think that's slowly building here over time. It seems like the industry is slowly starting to catch up. And now with TikTok and Instagram, people can sort of accrue fame without going through the like club process
and the agent and all that other crap that you have to go through. But let's start off. Where are you from?
I'm from here in Vancouver.
Okay.
I was born in Tehran in Iran.
In Iran.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Heard of it?
Yeah, I heard of it. Heard of it.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been in the news a lot lately.
Yeah. In the news a lot. A lot.
People are talking about us.
So you were born in Tehran?
I was born in Tehran, yeah, and then I moved here when I was 3 years old. So I grew up in Canada, lived in Vancouver most of my life, and then lived in Montreal and Toronto for about 10 years, and then moved back here during the pandemic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So and like, were you funny when you were a kid?
Was I funny when I was a kid? Yeah, I think I was always sort of like putting on plays and doing little like shows for my mom. And I would never really know what was actually funny, but I knew that when people started laughing, the little gremlin in my heart felt very happy. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think I was like decently funny. I was very silly, very goofy. I was an only child, so I was very demanding of everybody's attention. If there's a party happening, my mom has friends over, they need to be paying attention to me. So I need to be figuring out what to be doing for them to be so enthralled that they're not listening to my mom and instead watching me do whatever.
Were you spoiled?
Was I spoiled? Well, I mean, I grew up with a single immigrant mom.
Okay.
So
you could still be spoiled.
I think I was spoiled in the sense of like, I mean, I didn't have to share any attention, which was great. It really wired my brain to want everybody to be paying attention to me. But I do think having a single immigrant mom is like, she was harsh.
Well, you know what? Kudos. I have the ultimate respect for single mothers. Mm-hmm. I know I really do. I have my oldest sister was a single mom, and I, you know, without telling tales, I do know single moms, and I ultimate respect.
Totally. I know.
It's a tough go.
Yeah.
It really is a tough go because of it's a stereotypical prototype of what you're supposed to be as a mother, but and there's no, it's hard.
I know.
It's hard.
I know.
It's really difficult. And so, the fact that you're not in prison and you've
I've been
close, but that doesn't count. That only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes.
Exactly.
So you bounced around. You ended up here in Vancouver. When did you get up in front of a crowd the first time and give it a whirl?
Yeah. So I actually started, I was a little bit nervous. So I took a class, which is very controversial in the comedy community, whether or not you take a class. And I took a class at Second City in Toronto. And when I started that class, there was about a week before the pandemic started. So I went into class one time, then the pandemic started, and then we were just doing like online shows. So the first time I ever did stand-up was online, which famously is a format that most stand-up comedians hate. And
how did that work for you?
I mean, I had nothing to compare it to. So I was like, this is fantastic. I just do my little comedic speech and then I go, ooh, that felt good. And then I close my laptop and drink a bottle of wine. I don't know. What else did we do during the pandemic?
But how did you know if people were...
I didn't.
You did?
I didn't. And for some reason, I didn't really care. I was just enjoying myself. I mean, you can see people would have to mute themselves, but they would be smiling. So I think it really set me up well to just bomb because I was like, that's fine. I don't care. I don't even know if people are laughing right now anyways. And then I did like a couple illegal shows in Toronto. So let's just say I performed in that capacity, but they were outside. I really wouldn't call it stand-up. Then I moved back to Vancouver, and there was about 2 years before everything started opening up again, maybe a year and a half. And then I performed at my first open mic at Comedy After Dark in Chinatown. And the rest was history.
Explain the open mic concept. You just show up.
Yeah. I mean, all of them are different. Some of them are like a pre-sign up. Some of them you show up, you put your name in a bucket and you see if you have a chance to go up. Some of them, everyone goes up and you're there until 4 a.m. listening to some guy telling dick jokes or whatever. Yeah. I mean, it's just a great place to try out new material. I mean, when I say great, I mean, it's good to get a rep in, Sometimes you're not actually getting feedback about whether or not the joke is working.
But it's reps.
Yeah,
it's reps.
It's the 10,000 hours of golf.
Yeah, it's. I'm a golf fan,
right?
Okay, and I play golf. There's no substitute for just getting reps in.
Exactly.
And nobody, like, I'm sure, like comedy, golf's the same thing. Nobody does it to get worse.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like
right.
you're always trying to get better.
I mean, some people could have fooled me. There's some people that could have fooled me.
Suck, and you're just getting worse.
Actively,
yeah. Well, I the one mainstay that I watch Kill Tony. Okay. And not like, and I've been watching it for a while, and it's shocking, and I don't know if it's just me. Maybe it is just me, but man, like, okay. I know they're pulling them out of a hat, okay? And, like, arguably you're going to get a homeless person come on who's just happens to be drinking and coming over, and then they don't know what the hell they're talking about. And then, the one thing Tony's good at, he's a roaster. That's what he's real good at,
right.
But even the ones that he thinks are good, I go, and I have a story about this because my wife, she thought I was a disgusting pig watching Kill Tony to begin with. And now if I start watching it without her, she gets mad.
Right. It's your show now. It's the show that you guys have together.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, it's Monday night TV, kind of thing. And, but the thing is that and I guess different strokes for different folks, but the comedians that he thinks are good and that he brings back, some of them, I shake my head and scratch and go, this guy sucks.
Yeah.
Like, he's not even funny. All he does is holler, makes dick jokes, or talks about genitalia. Like it's just, it's shit. It's, and you know, I'm not suggesting you can't make dick jokes, but they
Right.
should be funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Funny above all else. I mean, people will say like, oh, those people didn't laugh because they were offended. It's like, well, laughter is involuntary.
That's
So
right. That's right. If it's funny, it's funny.
if it's funny, it's funny. Yeah. To me, Kill Tony feels a bit like the Roman Colosseum of comedy.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's
Where
good.
it's like people are having fun, people are entertained, but I don't know what the substance here really
Yeah.
is. And I don't know what we're actually contributing to comedy culture in doing this.
Yeah. You're right. I do. It is. It's a spectacle.
Yes, exactly.
It's a spectacle, and in that spectacle, there's a lot of humiliation. Like it is
Totally.
It's like
That's the biggest part of it.
it's total humiliation.
Yeah.
Like, you know, tell us something that you know, and then these people go on and tell them
Exactly.
You know, and going, oh Jesus, that guy's gonna go off the stage and kill himself. Like that's
And they bring up some of the like biggest comics too. Like they'll
Yeah.
be like Whitney Cummings there,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're just making fun of these
Yeah.
comedians who are just really hoping at making it.
Yeah, but it's interesting because does that reflect where we're at?
Yeah, I guess that is the question that a lot of people are asking comedy wise right now. I think there's two worlds. I think this has always existed in comedy. I just think it's maybe exemplified now because we are all on our phones. But I think there's sort of like a culture of comedians sort of trying their own thing, doing something different, maybe more alternative. And then there's the response to that of traditionalists who are like, no, comedy should be, and I don't even mean this in terms of gender, but more like an energy, like masculine and saying like the edgy thing and nothing should be censored and whatever. And so those are the two extremes. And I think Kill Tony is sort of just like a response to feeling like they're not fitting in or getting the laughs that they want in these spaces where people are now looking for more something different, not just the traditional sort of George Carlin style of stand-up.
Do you think, and this is it's an open-ended question with regards to comedians doing their own podcasts, and everyone's doing one, and everyone shouldn't be doing one,
Right.
And is that and I don't, I've given up. We had COVID, and you know, I had my share of going down the rabbit hole watching Joe Rogan and you know, ivermectin, you know, and I'll never forget the turning point for me was I love Bill Burr. I love him, and he had Bill Burr on. And Joe Rogan was blah 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 about ivermectin and all this kind of shit, and Bill Burr stops him and goes, you know, Joe, the day I take my medical advice from you is the day, like, I might as well stick a gun in my mouth, kind of thing. He said, you know, like, what are you talking about? You know, like it's just, and I look at, and I don't watch, like I've really cut back on that. There's some that I find funny, but you can get sucked down that rabbit hole of watching, you know, YouTube, like, and there's a lot of shit out there, and there's a lot of stuff that's not funny, and you watch 30 seconds of it or 45 seconds and you go, that isn't funny, you know, and the thing about and I know comedy, to a certain extent, it's subjective, but really it's objective. It's either funny or it's not funny, you know, and I don't understand. Like I get it getting up. It takes a lot of chutzpah to get up in front of a crowd and put it all out there.
Totally.
It really does. And that's why, like I say, I do respect anybody that does that, because it is difficult.
Yeah.
Especially when like in my younger days, we used to go to Yuck Yucks, and you know, I had friends that would just get plastered and heckle the shit out of it, like the comedian, and it was just brutal. I think back those days, like back in the 80s, it was terrible.
Yeah.
We were terrible people, you know.
I think that evil still lives inside of many people.
Is that right?
Yeah, it just takes a few Casa Amigos to,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
get it out
yeah.
of
Get
them,
her going. Just
or a
to
few
get her going.
Parallel 49 IPAs. Yeah.
Get a liquid courage.
Yeah, honestly, like, yes, hecklers suck, but I do think they I mean, I shouldn't say this because then this is going to encourage people to heckle, but I do think it's helped me be a better comedian, more responsive, more able to handle a room. Like, you have to know how to handle those things, and I think it's a sign of a good comedian when either they're able to move on and still keep the audience engaged, or they're able to, like, at best make a very funny situation out of something quite awful and uncomfortable.
Explain your style. What's your style of comedy?
Oh man,
If you had to, and maybe you can't.
No, I mean, I try to describe it as, I mean, I still am, I just hit 5 years like last week. So in the comedy world, I'm still very green. But I would say my style is, I want it to feel like you're FaceTiming your friend and they are going through a very chaotic time in their life, but they're like excited about it. So it feels like conversational and intimate and maybe a little bit oversharing. But it ultimately has like a through line of being something very like personal, looking into like stuff with like my family and my dating life and immigrating, and I look a lot at like how my life is a contradiction, how I exist in sort of a contradictory way. So I explore those themes a lot.
How do you exist in a contradictory way?
Like, I would say the precipice of that is, for me, is sort of like living as a like Middle Eastern woman in a place where everyone has been like, this place is very multicultural and there's no racism here and everyone accepts everyone.
Really?
And then the experiences that I've had being like quite different than that. Or like, I'm bisexual, but I've like dated mostly men. Or like, I have this joke about my grandma. She's an immigrant who doesn't even speak English, and she's always talking about how there's like too many immigrants in Canada.
That's
like,
funny.
Grandma, you're the problem, you know? The call is coming from inside the house. So just moments like that I find very funny. I find, just contradictory situations. There's a lot of comedy in that.
And the venues, like how many venues would you say there are out in I guess you must venture outside of Vancouver, I would imagine.
Yeah.
But like, how many legitimate venues are there for you to ply your trade?
Across Canada? Or?
No, I'm talking just in
Vancouver.
Yeah. And maybe let's just say on the north side of the Fraser River. Let's not go valley.
Okay. I would say, I mean, dedicated to comedy.
Yeah, like what? Kind of, sort of, you know, like and I don't know what kind of venues you play. Like if you go into, like, you know, Simon goes into a bar,
yes,
kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. You have
to. Yeah. Do you do that?
Yes. Yeah. I would say like the majority of shows that we do are in like bars or theaters. Theaters if you're lucky, and like breweries, or just like this random place that's like, we used to be a clothing store but now we sell coffee and we happen to have a stage in the back, and we're like, great, we'll set up a show back there. But I would say dedicated to comedy, the 3-4 venues in the city would be Chillax Studios in Mount Pleasant, Little Mountain Gallery in Gastown, Comedy After Dark in Chinatown, and Underground Comedy, which is also like in Chinatown. So those are like the main ones that do comedy almost every single night. And then we've got Yuck Yucks in Cloverdale and House of Comedy in New West. Yeah. And then I think that's really it when it comes to dedicated comedy.
And yourself, you like, and I'm always interested in this, okay, you do open mics still, I would imagine, and you do shows.
Yes.
Right? Okay. So are you your own agent? Are you like, how do How do you find gigs?
Yeah, I'm my own agent. I book all my own shows. I mean, I do have an agent for acting, and he knows that I also am a comedian, so he'll send me stuff sometimes. But all of my shows I just book myself, and it's just because all of the producers in the city are also comedians, so they see me perform. If they think that I can do their show, they ask me to do it. And then for the club owners, I've been doing it long enough and performed at their clubs enough that they know who I am and what I have to offer. And so then they'll just reach out to me and book me. Or sometimes I get anxious and I go, I don't have enough spots, and I reach out to people. Yeah.
And are receptive?
Yeah. I feel very lucky. I feel like I've cultivated a good place in the community.
And you said you do some acting.
I do auditioning. Maybe that's that's a more I've become a professional auditioner.
A professional auditioner.
Yes. I'm doing auditions all the time. Am I getting a call back? Rarely.
What if you're not in the game?
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
You know,
yeah. I just don't have I really do enjoy acting, but it kind of goes against everything that I've learned as a comedian. And so I really try to lean towards roles that are similar to who I am, which maybe that's a cheap shot, but I don't know. I find acting to be a little bit corny.
Well, it kind of is.
It is. Yeah, it is.
It is. You know, depending on I alluded to the fact that I'm a golfer and I. There's a what's the Owen Wilson one? I had Nathan Leonard on Sticks. Thank you, Trish. Sticks. I watched that on Apple TV, and it can't help but be corny. And then there's another one with Will Ferrell that was just released on Netflix.
Oh, I've heard about this.
What's it called? Hawk, Lanny the Hawk.
Right.
Now, Will Ferrell's funny and stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? And Will, if you're listening,
well, she is. We know he is.
Yeah, I know he is. My little shit ass podcaster. but it is kind of corny. Like it's not. I like it. I like real. Like try and be as real as you possibly and authentic as you possibly can, because I know that's not true. Like I golf. I know. I just know. It's just and from a consumption perspective, there's things that I'm always looking for to be entertained. You know what I mean? Like, and I think what's interesting is that we have this plethora of options, yet we still feel like there's not anything good. Like, you go, there's nothing good on,
right, kind
of thing. And I know we have to, we used to go downtown a lot to shows. We and I love live music. I love it, but COVID kind of put the kibosh on that.
Totally.
We have out where we are in White Rock, South Surrey, we have this studio called the Blue Frog.
Okay.
And actually probably serve as a pretty kind of cool comedy venue, but they have, and I'm not going to say I do not have anything against old people, but they're old people shows.
Right.
And the acoustics in there is fantastic, but like I don't want to see a knockoff Guess Who band. You know what I mean? Like I just don't.
Yeah.
I like jazz. We've been to the Newport Jazz Festival in Rhode Island a number of times. I love jazz.
Cool.
And we've been fortunate enough to travel quite extensively, and wherever we go, we make sure that we go and see some live music, music that I wouldn't necessarily go out of my way, but I'm because I'm in Italy, I'm going to see a guy play an accordion,
right,
kind of thing. So,
very
which
cool.
is cool. Yeah, it's cool. But here, I do wish that there was more on the south side of the river. Mm-hmm. But the fact is that in order to consume comedy, I do have to come this side.
Yeah.
And I'm getting used to it. my office is at the foot of the Arthur Lang Bridge, so that's about as far as I get into Vancouver.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and I do go downtown sometimes, but hell, if I go to the North Shore, I feel like I have to pull my passport out sometimes because
that's a journey for you.
It is a journey. It's a massive journey.
Totally.
But and traffic is just it's crazy. But the back to the comedy scene here, and you've been for, you said, 5 years. Have you seen it evolve? Have you seen a change in the way? First of all, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. And I'll probably answer that question. If it's funny, it's acceptable. If it's punching down or it's stupid, it's not. But is the audience growing for it, or is it just kind of?
Yeah. You asked me at a tough time because it's the summer.
Yeah.
And comedy is not great in the summer. People don't really want to support comedy in the summer. Not that they don't want to support comedy. They just would rather be doing literally anything else. They would rather be outside at a beach or getting drunk on a patio or even just at a friend's house. People don't want to be in like a dark, dingy basement listening to comedians talk about how sad they are, which I completely understand. So in my mind right now, I'm like, our audience is great. No. They are. Audiences are great here in Vancouver. I think we are getting more people out than we were before. I mean, I also work at Little Mountain Gallery, so I have the benefit of being able to see that over the last year, our audience has increased. So I do think there's more of an appetite for comedy, for sure, and especially among young people. And you're seeing more diverse audiences, like more women at shows, which is great. But the scene itself, again, it's really hard because I joined when everyone was like, things are changing. Things are so different. Everyone's so nice to each other now. Everyone used to bully each other so much. And now everyone's so friendly and everyone's friends with each other and people are more sober. So there used to be
explain that bullying.
I guess people were really rude before and would like haze people a little bit or roast people more. And I mean, I think there still is some of that to a certain extent. I personally more
shitting on other comedians.
Yes. And outwardly talking about how you don't like them or don't like their comedy or think that they're bad at X, Y, and Z thing to their face, I guess. I guess this is the culture that existed. I was never privy to this culture, but I believe that it was there because I see that evil in some people.
Just pure evil.
Yeah. And then you do hear a lot of older comics be like, oh, I missed that. We should bring that back. Like those were the good old days.
But so there's no camaraderie. Isn't there a camaraderie of, hey man, good for you. Like if you were to land a role or you were to, hey, good for you, Niki. Like good for you. Yeah. Or does that exist or
yeah, but you're talking about a group of very broken people. From broken homes.
Is that's the criteria? You have to be from a broken home and have a messed up childhood?
No, I don't think so. No. I mean, I think it helps a little bit. Yeah, I think it helps a little bit, but I actually don't think it's necessary. I love someone who's like happy and this is the thing is, I think that's how comedy has changed. Is now there's so many different expressions of comedy, and I think that pisses a lot of people off. I think there's a lot of, again, traditionalists who think comedy should be one thing, and now I think people are exploring different ways of performing stand-up. And I think that pisses a lot of people off who were doing very well doing a different type of comedy who now might not be doing as well because the audience is now wanting something a little different, some more variety.
So when you do a set, how long is the average set that you do?
Right now I do anywhere between like 10 to 30 minutes.
10 to 30 minutes?
Yeah. I would say my average is probably like 10 to 15.
Okay, this is going to be a real stupid question, Niki.
Please ask away. No stupid questions.
Okay. How do you remember everything?
Yeah, that's not a stupid question. A lot of people ask that actually. I try not to like be word perfect because I think that it sounds like you're performing a script. I mean, some of my jokes I've performed so many times that I do say them in the same way every time. I don't know. I've always had a good memory. I also smoke. I'm a huge stoner, but I'm a huge stoner, but hasn't impacted my memory. I think I have a pretty good memory.
Yeah, and that helps.
Yeah. Smoking weed? Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what I keep telling everyone.
Yeah.
You got to smoke more weed.
Yeah.
No. I actually don't smoke before a show
because I've always had for me, even when I've had to get up in my past, get up in front of 500 or 600 people and talk, it's utter bullshit what I'm, and I realize that, but it's like sometimes I used to say this about sometimes I start talking, I don't even know what I'm saying.
That's the best for comedy, I think.
And
vomit.
And the thing is that somebody will come up to me later and go, "Oh, yeah, I was really good. What you?" I don't remember saying that.
Right.
I don't remember that. So do you ever have that when you're in a bit and you're doing something and you get a humongous response,
right?
And then after somebody, hey, Niki, that was hilarious, and you're like, does that ever happen?
No.
No.
I would say I feel the most present and in my body when I'm on stage. Okay. So I'm the most like conscious of what I'm doing, what I'm saying, what's happening in the room when I'm on stage. I always say, like, I could be, and this has happened, I ended an 8-year-long relationship this year, and for some reason the day I ended it, I went on stage and performed, and as I was on stage, like I felt very present and very in my body. I don't think anything else could have taken me out of that state of mind that day. But yeah, stand-up has this way of just like pulling you in, and I think it depends if you have a sort of proclivity for it and feel like it's something that's meant for you. But it's truly the only time where I'm like actually conscious of everything that's happening around me.
Prior to the show, though, prior to going up,
yeah,
do you get gut pains? Are you just calm? Are you smoking dope, or what are you doing? Like, are you chugging a bottle of vodka, or
no,
or are you what's your mindset?
I used to get so nervous that I wouldn't even be able to think about anything else that day. But now, like, yeah, I'll get a little jittery as I can hear the host bringing me up, like saying my name and stuff. But no, I don't feel that immense anxiety anymore. I used to feel it a lot, but now I feel sort of just like, oh, I'm a little bit nervous, I'm excited, or oh God, this audience seems tough, or oh, this audience seems great, I can't wait to get up. So it just depends. If it's a big deal, like if I'm doing a TV taping, or I know there's someone in the audience that I need to be impressing, then yes, I will be very nervous.
If somebody's in the audience that
not always, but
always?
sometimes. Like sometimes you're performing on a showcase where they're like, we're wanting to book for Just For Laughs Montreal, and this is your chance to sort of audition for us.
So
yeah.
So do you when you do feel that anxiety, what do you do? Like do you do the like what?
Is that box breathing or cocaine?
It's cocaine. No. No, I like a little bit of meditation.
Yeah,
I say this when I was younger and I would get real anxious, I would hold my breath.
Oh,
like I would hold my breath.
That seems counterintuitive.
The thing is it would calm me down. It'd bring me down. Yeah, like it was one of those things that, I take a deep breath and like I hold my breath for like 45 or 60 seconds and then go, okay, everything's cool.
Oh,
everything's cool. And that's just something that I did, like when I went in my university career. And it's not because I wanted to learn transcendental meditation. I wanted to meet girls, and I got involved.
Thank you for your honesty.
But the thing is that I took a course in transcendental meditation, and I was fairly poor at it, but I did learn a few things about breathing and that kind of stuff. And I remember this quite vividly. Somehow my father found out about it, and he says, "Is this a cult? Did you join a cult?"
Fair question.
No, yeah, it was but I still know how to practice it, but it's more just breathing exercises to try and get yourself, bring yourself down, because I used to, believe it or not, I used to get pretty wound up about shit, about things, and I don't now. Like and it's taken me a long time to, just calm down and relax and realize that, okay. And that's back to the comedy thing. The nerves, and when you're nervous, you like, and you see this when on open mics too. People go up and they're like,
Yeah. Oh,
and that's sad.
yeah.
It is, and you just like,
Because you can feel that as an audience, right?
somebody's got to get that person.
I
up there.
know.
Like you're it's torture.
It's painful to watch. Yeah.
It's torture. But but you've managed to harness that. Like you figured out how to deal with that.
I guess. Yeah. I think I'm sort of like, I'm just going to tell them if I feel really nervous, or I'm just going to lean into that energy. Like instead of praying it away or trying to figure out a way to get rid of it, I'm just going to be like, I feel nervous and maybe I can use that somehow in this performance. But people would say that to me all the time. I remember when I started, they would be like, just use that energy. And I would be like, what does that even mean?
What does that mean?
Like, I would just get on stage and just power through. I truly think it's the more you do it, the more you learn how you're responding, when you're going to respond that way, why you're responding that way, and then you can adjust for yourself. And the more you're able to just go up there and enjoy yourself, the less it's going to be bringing you anxiety. And I also just like to be in the room right before I go on stage. So I like to at least watch one comic before me. Some comedians like to just stay in the green room the whole time. Everyone does something different. But I like to be in the room, and then I just feel like, okay, I'm part of this experience with the audience, and I'm contributing something to it. So yeah, the box breathing does help. I do if it's a big show and I'm really, really nervous, I do try to do some box breathing.
So early influences. Who are you? Who did you kind of look up to and follow and go? You know what? I'm not saying I want to be like her or I want to be like him, but who did you look at and go, hey, that guy or girl is pretty funny?
When I was young, I watched a lot of All That, which is it's improv, but I think it informed my comedy sensibilities. I really loved like Amanda Bynes. Who knows where she is now, but I really enjoyed her. I liked like any friend in a TV show who was like the comedic relief. Like I felt like there wasn't that many funny women in lead roles when I was growing up. So anytime there was like a funny friend, I really enjoyed that. Like Jackie on That 70s Show. Like I just love that she's so unapologetically herself and just says the craziest, most outlandish stuff and really cuts the tension. Sort of like the Ham in a and then I think the first time I saw stand-up where it was a female comedian and at a professional level, I think I saw Chelsea Peretti's stand-up special, and I was like, that's so cool. I still didn't think like I want to do that. I just was like, that's really awesome.
Do you is it fair to say it's more difficult to be a female comedian than it is a male comedian?
I guess it depends on what you mean by difficult.
Well, there's, and I am male. Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Anybody like See, I can make myself laugh. But a female, to me, there's a lot of things that are, we've lived in a male-dominated world for a long time. Okay, and things are beginning to like kind of sort of equal out, but not really. But do you feel any of that like, I'm trying to figure out the right words to use, like for instance, if you go on the road, okay, and there's a male comedian, is he going to take you as an opening act, kind of thing, like that kind of stuff, like I'm not saying you're not gonna share the same hotel room kind of shit. That's creepy, but it's just I don't know what I'm trying to.
In terms of like getting opportunities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it's interesting. A lot of people think being a woman gets you more opportunities because people are looking to diversify their lineups or their clubs, or they want to have variety on their show. They see the benefit of having someone who's not a male opener for a male headlining comedian. And there's a lot of contention around that, because yes, I do think you do get more opportunities more quickly as a woman just because there's fewer of us. But whether or not you can keep those opportunities and keep those connections and keep those bookings is another thing. Like, sure, maybe I got my foot in the door a little bit sooner because I'm a woman and they were looking for more women and they saw maybe a little bit of potential in me. But would I keep getting booked if I didn't do well on that show? No, I wouldn't. So I do think in terms of getting opportunities, yes, I think women can have an easier time when they're starting out, but do I think that it stays easy for them? No. And do I think once they get that opportunity and they get on stage that they're starting at the same level as their male counterparts? No. I do think that there is and I don't think it's conscious, but a subconscious reading of someone when they get on stage. Like when you see like a chubby white guy getting on stage, maybe he's got a mustard stain on his shirt, you go to yourself like, that guy's gonna make me laugh. But if I get on stage and I'm wearing like a dress and I'm like, maybe I have my hair and makeup done, you're not going to think funny immediately. You know, I think women start 10 steps behind and a guy can get on stage and people are already like, okay. You know, again, I don't think it's conscious. I think it's a sort of like a subconscious belief system we have around like what looks funny.
And this question, it leads into another question. Are you, as a male comedian versus a female comedian, are male comedians allowed a lot more rope to hang themselves as opposed to a female comedian? Like there's a quick, you're not funny, bye bye, or we'll give this guy. It's a legitimate question.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I think that's sort of what I was sort of alluding at is like, I think just based off of the biases we have, consciously or otherwise, there's certain ways that we give men a little bit more leeway. I think we feel less scared when a man gets on stage and is like, oh, I'm going to kill myself. Like, we're like, but for a woman, we're like, oh my God, is she okay? Like, should I follow her to the bathroom after? And please don't follow us to the bathroom. Yeah. But I think, and I don't think it's coming from a cruel or malicious place. I just think we have, I mean, there's a reason why like the trope of like, oh, women aren't funny. I mean, yeah, it's a trope and we all know it's not true, but I do think it permeates our subconscious. Yeah, I do think there's more leeway for men to be weird or say something that's darker or maybe say something that's not funny at all, but like gives insight into their personality in a way that I think women have to be a little bit more manicured with that kind of stuff.
Material wise, where do you just observing?
Yeah.
Like, where do you get
life, living life,
seeing stupid shit all the time?
Yeah. Sometimes I do force myself to write about, if I'm like, this topic is important to me and I want to find a way to make it funny, like going through my breakup. I was like, I need to write about my breakup because when I get on stage, there's something all over my face that says I'm going through something. So I need to address it. I need to figure out a way to address it. So sometimes I'll do that. But a lot of the times it's just like, I'm on a walk. It's usually when I'm walking or showering because my mind is clear. And I'll think of something and I'll either voice note it to myself or write it down.
Are you writing every day?
No. I hate that question because it reveals that I'm not writing every day. I'm trying to write as much as I can, Steve. Is that enough for you?
BFD. Like, you know, I just...
No, I'm trying. I'm trying to write as much as I can. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, is it like... there's comments about like been made about the muse, you know, that thing that comes to you, that you know, and my issue is that I have thoughts, I have a book, I write shit down, but then half the time I go through it and I go, oh, I don't even know what that means. Yeah. You know, kind of stuff.
Right.
But when you I just driving here, you know, there's no shortage of goofy
material,
shit that's happening now. The thing is, the goofy shit that you see, you may find that that's hilarious, but that you never know when you get up in front of people and you say that shit and everybody just goes,
yeah, totally.
You know,
totally.
That leads me to another question here, which you're probably not gonna like. What's the worst perform, like the shittiest place that you like, without calling out, you know, a town or a venue or something, what was the worst of all, like that you remember and you just go, holy shit, I never want that. That just kicked me right in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And I thought I was, and then you go and it was horrid.
Oh, I'll call him out.
Yeah, yeah. You just go. Okay,
I don't know. I
okay,
actually don't know. I don't remember the name of the venue, but it was in Hope, British Columbia.
Hope. Okay.
Yeah, and it was actually in the last year. This was truly one of the worst sets of my life. But I was feeling really good because we were on tour and every show had been going so well and I was having so much fun and I had just done a taping for CBC. So I was feeling like on top of the world, just like, yes, this is it. This is what I'm meant to be doing. Like everything is going so well. And I also, my set at that time was very much about my story of immigrating and my family. And I'm like, oh my God, if these stories are working in small towns in Canada, then I know that they're solid jokes, you know. It's not just a show for people in the city. And then I get to Hope, and the audience just has decided that they do not like me. They don't even really understand what I'm trying to get at, and I'm not getting any laughs. I'm just getting people go, "What? Oh!"
And you can hear them.
Yeah. Like they're throwing tomatoes at me, verbal tomatoes at me. And well, I don't even remember your question because now I'm in a
no. But I was talking the worst.
Yeah.
Like where you just
Yeah.
really bombed and
Yeah.
you like do you when that happens you got to wear it, right? Like you just okay, we're gonna go now, like or do you just like what do you do?
I was just trying desperately to win them over, but then once I stop having fun on stage, it's over. Like, because now the audience can feel that I don't really like what's happening. And even if they don't know why the show's not going well anymore now, they can feel that it's not going well.
You don't walk off.
No. I'm getting paid. And I'm poor. No.
So you just stay there and
just grin and bear it, I guess.
Grin and bear it.
I really tried. I tried to get them on my side. I was like, okay, they don't like this stuff. Maybe I can do this stuff. But I mean, I think they just were like, we don't like you. And you know what? I kind of respect when an audience knows what they like and don't like. It was just that I'm not sure what they were looking for that night, but it was not Niki Mohrdar. And I don't think I will ever be returning to Hope. I don't think I can show my face in that town ever again.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
You never know.
If anyone's listening to this and they're from Hope and they would like me to come back, just send me a message.
DM you.
Yeah, I need it. I really need it. I actually, even just thinking about it right now is working up a spot for me. It's awful.
Sorry.
Oh, it was so bad. It's like bombs don't really stick with me anymore. Like it'll happen and I'll be like, oh, whatever. Like I need to obviously work on that joke, or it was a weird night for me, or I know exactly why things went wrong. But to just be giving it your all for 20 minutes, desperately trying to get a response from people, and people just going, not just going, not for me, actively going, oh God, this is horrible. I'm like, you're right. This is horrible. I need to leave. Beautiful town though, great mountains.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. So you know what? But the what's your favorite? Have you performed across Canada?
Not across Canada. I would say Western Canada. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ever been to Lethbridge?
I haven't. I really want to go to Lethbridge. I really want to perform at Good Times. I've heard wonderful things about Lethbridge.
We own the newspaper there.
You own a newspaper there?
I did the newspaper there. Yeah.
Okay.
Medicine Hat. All these exciting places.
wow.
Kelowna, Penticton.
Oh, I actually will be performing in Kelowna in December.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Kelowna, Penticton, Thunder Bay.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
I mean, I actually have heard good things about these comedy scenes.
Yeah.
I haven't really heard much about Thunder Bay.
And have you performed in Montreal?
I haven't. Even though I studied there, I've never performed in Montreal. But one day.
That's a hotbed.
Yeah.
Just for laughs.
I think, for Just For Laughs, for sure. I think the local comedy scene is maybe a little bit smaller than Vancouver's. So I've heard you can't get up as often as you can here. But yeah, would love to perform all across Canada.
Toronto?
I haven't performed in Toronto.
That's a big smoke, isn't it?
I know, and I started there technically. I mean, I did those illegal shows, but I will. I'll eventually get over.
I'll show my personal bias. I hate Toronto.
You hate Toronto.
I do. It's a concrete jungle. And it's if you've ever been to Toronto in the middle of the summer, it's so fucking humid. It's just
it's muggy.
death.
Yeah.
And I'm from Winnipeg.
Right.
And I can shit all over Winnipeg because I grew up there.
Yeah.
And like the best day of my life was seeing that city in my rearview mirror, leave. And no, listen, God love the people, friendly Manitoba. They are friendly. They are. They're wonderful. I have family back there, but I saw the light in the early 90s and went I came out here in 1977.
Right.
I had an aunt who was a hippie. Like we came out here and what was that show, The Wonder Years? Remember that show, The Wonder Years,
No.
The Golden Years? Oh no, it was like what was the name of that? Anyway, it was this show and
It was Canadian?
No, it was American. It was an American show,
Okay.
and it was like in that 70s time where the hippies were still around, and my aunt was a hippie. And she moved from Winnipeg out here. And we loaded up the car. I have two older sisters, and we came out here in 1976 or 77. And I was like, oh, this exists?
Yeah.
Why do we live where we live? This is, we have mosquitoes this big. We have flesh-eating bugs. Why are we here? Like, this is beautiful. The ocean.
Right.
I went on a ferry. I saw a whale. I'm like, why do we live in Winnipeg? Did we run out of money? And the Winnipeg, and the thing is, the Winnipeg comedy scene, it and I don't know if it's still the same, but there were a lot of clubs. And
good clubs too.
Yeah, and we used to go. Like we go just, I guess because the booze was cheap, but it was also because it was entertaining, and everyone loves to laugh.
Yeah,
and I don't believe that we have enough laughter.
Yeah,
people are far too serious about things.
Totally,
they really are, and I think everybody just lightened up a little bit.
Yes, yeah,
and saw the humor in some things, and I think with as we've expanded, we've got this thing called the internet. It's at our fingertips, but at the same time, I think we're really lazy. We don't. I it's just like for instance, if you do I would imagine if you do a special, okay, you can put it up on YouTube, right? After give me an example of when you create material, okay, that period of time is how long before I know you're constantly through stand-up and open mics and stuff, you're working your way through, and then you've got how long does it take you to create an act, a solid 30 minutes or 35 minutes when you're doing it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still very new, so I would say I have about 30 to 35 minutes of material that I know it's going nonstop laughter. I've heard that your first hour takes the longest to develop, and then after that you're putting out an hour every year or so, but your first hour takes the longest to develop. So I mean, I still don't have a full hour yet. I could probably do 40 minutes and have 10 to 15 of that be crowd work, but I still haven't made an hour. So I think I'm still too new to really create a timeline on things, but I would say 10 minutes. I could probably write 10 minutes and have it be the 10 minutes that I'm wanting it to be sort of crafted in. I would say I could do that in a few months. Yeah, you write it over the course of a couple weeks, then you keep perfecting it over the course of a couple months, and then it gets to where you want it to be. And, yeah.
So what would you deem the for you, do you have a goal? Do you have and I don't mean I know you want to get you want to be the best comedian you can possibly be.
Yeah.
But do you have a do you is there a Netflix special or something like that, or being discovered, or or are you what is your life is serendipitous kind of thing.
Yeah.
You never know what's around the corner.
Right.
For instance, comedy is comedy a full-time gig for you?
So I do I do comedy, and then I also work at the comedy club.
Yeah. Okay.
So
So you got a kind of a job
Yeah.
kind of thing, and that is kind of like the thing you got to do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm lucky that my supplementary income is also comedy related. But yeah, my goal is to have performing be able to fund my entire life. So being able to be a professional comedian. And then I would say, I don't know, that's the thing is I never really set like big goals because things in comedy happen so randomly and serendipitously, as you said. But I think right now my goal is to be a headlining comedian across Canada. So that would be my next goal. And then after that, it would be to get like a visa so that I can also be performing in the States and expanding my audience that way.
Have you ever performed in the States?
I have not, because it is against the law.
It is against the law.
And I am a law-abiding citizen.
You are. And
Yes,
you're
yeah,
honest.
exactly.
You can't
Yeah,
can't break the law.
I cannot and I won't.
You won't. That a girl. That a girl. You're like my wife over here. Never drive over the speed limit. Never run a yellow light.
Well, I'm assuming that whatever immigration officer is eventually going to give me my
Oh,
visa is gonna listen to this, and I want them to know who I am. Yeah.
Do you have a Nexus card?
I don't have an ex. I honestly haven't been to the States in a very long time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, neither have I. Yeah, and I live right on the border.
Yeah, oh yeah, White Rock,
Yeah,
very
yeah,
close.
yeah,
You don't
yeah.
ever head down to Trader Joe's?
No,
No.
I don't. Bellingham's too far. If I go down, it's usually to golf. Because it's cheaper to golf there.
Oh, is it?
It is cheaper to golf, and it's more. It's more fun.
Yeah.
And I'm the kind of guy, like I'm a lone wolf, so to speak.
Right.
Well, lone wolf means I have no friends. So so I golf as a single, and I enjoy golfing. I enjoy meeting people on the golf course, because where else are you going to spend 4.5 hours with somebody you don't know, and you may not ever see them again,
Totally.
and they'll tell you shit.
Yeah.
They just open up their soul to you,
Right.
about their.
Oh, is that how you get men to open up? You take them golfing? This is why I've never had a man open up to me.
There you go. There you go. Take up golf.
Yeah, I got
Take up golf. Yeah. Because even like women that I've golfed with, they just, Jesus, and you just start a conversation, and,
Right.
and I don't know what it is, but there's nothing else really in this world that you would do for 4.5 hours, like go for a walk with somebody that you don't
Yeah.
know. And
Maybe it's because you don't have to look anyone in the eye while you're doing it.
yeah, that could be it.
Yeah,
that could be it. And you really think in the back of your mind, you're going, I'm never going to see this person ever again.
Right.
Right. And I'm going to, and you don't have to give them your real name.
Well, why would you? You can't be too vulnerable now.
That's
My
right.
government
Yeah,
name?
that's
No,
right.
no.
That's right. Where's your favorite place to play? To like your favorite room where you feel at home, like where you're going. I really like it. Is it?
I love any chance I get to perform in Mount Pleasant.
Okay.
Mount Pleasant. Anytime there's an audience of like hot girls and their boyfriends, that's my favorite audience. Yeah. I love.
Why wouldn't that be?
Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't that be? I just think like I
Where is that place again?
Mount Pleasant.
She's going to kill her.
She's
She's
loving
laughing.
it.
She's laughing.
She's like, I'll be there too.
Really?
Yeah, Mount Pleasant. I like a audience that's like young, working class audience. It's tough to say because every show is different and every night is different, and so sometimes I'll walk into a club and it's very audience dependent. So if they're young but they're not like uptight, then it's gonna be a good time.
Do you find our audiences, and I've used this I shouldn't say, do you find people being more nihilistic these days?
Yes, they're more nihilistic, and then they're also more upset if you're too nihilistic.
Really? Because they come there, they want you to make them feel happy.
Yeah,
and
I
laugh.
get that. Like they've come to escape. They don't want you to remind them of
How shitty things are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hear you.
And they will accept that, but I think people also are so used to watching things on their phone and feeling like they're getting like a accurate representation of who that person is. Whereas sometimes when I go on stage, I might be talking about something that I'm dealing with, but I'm only talking about it because I think I've processed it a little bit, you know? So the audience, I can feel that they're like, ooh, this feels sticky for me and upsetting. And I think they're just so used to seeing like caricatures of people on their phone. And I get that. You have to figure out a way to make something very tragic funny so that people can sort of abandon their worry for you.
Well, and the thing is about comedy, if it's funny, it can shed light on something that needs to have light shed on it.
Completely, yeah.
You know?
That to me, that's the best type of comedy. I try to take a topic that normally would make people uncomfortable or upset or even angry and find the humor in it. Like that thing with my grandma, like I wrote that at a time where I felt like people were very upset with immigrants who weren't sort of like assimilating. And I wanted to comment on that because my grandparents are like that. And just sort of bring people in and find a way to talk about my grandparents and show them like my grandparents are actually awesome. And yeah, they're insane, but they're sweethearts.
Are they funny?
Very funny. Very, very, very funny. Especially my grandpa. Yeah, he's very funny.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Projects you're working on. And you have what's Pillow Talk? Pillow Talk, what is that, a podcast?
No, Pillow Talk is it's a stand-up show.
Okay.
That I do with my best friend who's also a comedian, Cass Furman. And it's sort of slumber party themed. So we dress in our PJs and so do the comedians that we bring onto the show. And the show opens up with Cass and I sort of getting on stage. We talk to everyone in the audience. We have like, do you remember goodie bags that you would get? Yeah. So we have like little prizes on stage, and if people talk to us, we'll give them prizes. We'll prank call your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriend. We'll roast people. We'll play truth or dare, like just kind of stuff like that. And then we bring out a few of our favorite comedians in the scene, or if there's any comics from out of town. And then the show ends with us doing a tarot reading for someone in the audience, but we have no idea how to read tarot. So,
so you're just making shit up?
We're just making stuff up, and it's fun. And yeah, it's just kind of like a fun girly hang, but there's also like men who come to the show. It's but it's very cute and fun. And we're actually going to go on tour in December, so we'll be doing some of interior BC and Alberta.
Lethbridge?
Not Lethbridge, no. But I will be. I promise you, by the end of next year, I will be in Lethbridge. As a promise I'm making to myself. That's my next comedy goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Prince George?
I don't know about the scene in Prince George.
Oh, Rachel. She's laughing. Right, nothing personal against Prince George.
Was she making fun of Prince George?
Well, she was. It was hilarious. Yeah. But the thing is, I could have piled on too because, like Prince George smells like affluent from the pulp and paper mill there. It's just like God love the people that live there. Listen, you know what? You live where you are, and that's fine. But is it a place I would go for? No.
Okay, fair.
I'm just gonna be honest here.
Fair enough.
So projects you're working on currently. What are you up to? Anything else you want to highlight?
Yeah. So Pillow Talk for sure.
Yeah.
And then we have a show on September 25th at 9:30 at Little Mountain Gallery. So check that out.
You can go online and just.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. If you go on my Instagram, I will have it.
What's your Instagram?
Niki.Mohrdar.
Okay.
At Niki.Mohrdar.
Okay.
And then also I have a Fringe show coming up in September called Sanction Me Daddy. And it's about
Sanction Me Daddy.
Yes, yeah. And it's about my experiences in the dating world as an Iranian woman living in Canada. So it's going to be a stand-up show. I'm going to be doing 30-40 minutes of stand-up about sort of my life and love life. And then I will have 2 local openers as well. Cool. So it'll be a fun stand-up show in September. Please come. That will also be linked in my bio on Instagram.
Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Well, listen, you know what? And I'll close by saying, is there anything that's near and dear to you in the comedy world right now? Something that you like? How do I put this? I think I'm something that's happening in comedy that is just kind of about to take off is what I'm looking at. Like, you know, for a while, like there was roasting was a big thing.
Right.
Okay. And you were talking about pillow talk. And that is that, would it be safe to say that that's kind of like your improvisation? You don't have a set script when you're doing that stuff.
Yeah, that I would say that's more crowd work, what we're doing for Pillow Talk with a stand-up from the local comics. I think something that I feel really excited about, and I think this is specific to the Vancouver comedy scene, is there's so many really talented women in comedy right now. And we have built such like a nice community where we support one another and lift each other up. And I mean, obviously,
no bullying.
Not always.
No bullying.
There's some bullying, you know, it happens. It happens.
Name names.
Oh, I'll wait until we stop recording. But I genuinely do think right now there is a push towards seeing more women on stage and having comedy that is alternative or goofier or just more feminine in general. And I think audiences are hungry for it. And I like that audiences are also becoming different. Like I like that I'm seeing groups of women out on their own as opposed to like, oh, my boyfriend brought me to the stand-up show. So I think just like the feminization, I can't say that word, of comedy.
Yeah. No, that's...
Because it's a very feminine thing to be standing on stage and just complaining for...
Well, guys have no problem going with other guys to a comedy show.
Exactly, yeah.
So why can't girls go to a comedy show with other girls?
I think they think they're just going to see some dude on stage pretending that the mic is his dick and the stool is a woman, you know?
That's good. I like that one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's funny. Okay, well, Niki, on that note, shout out your Instagram handle again. If anybody wants to get a hold of you, shout that out again. One more time.
Niki.Mohrdar.
Okay, perfect. Listen, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you coming. This was fun,
so
man.
Fun.
It was lots of fun.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Okay, we're out, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
You may be asking yourself, what's any of this got to do with me? Absolutely nothing. Until next time.